Yeah, dude, I don't think that the Linus.
What's the music? How does it sound? That was way off.
Fuck, bro, we got no
Yeah,
rhythm.
we gotta freaking work on our music game.
Dude, man,
Hey, we're back in the man lair.
yeah, the fancy.
This is your basement.
Library. It is kind of. I mean, it's the.
It's your basement, dude.
It's the Ritual C, you know.
It's your basement, Max.
Yeah.
You own it.
I own everything here.
That's good.
All these chairs. Because I got a big family.
Big family of dogs.
Bro, I got a lot to talk about. First of all, I wonder if this mic is too close, but you know what? I don't think people want to hear anything about our camera placement or our mic placement. I think that must be very annoying to them.
Yeah, probably is. I mean, but
Anyways.
life is life.
All right. Remember I told you about this girl in Barbados who wants to come, try to live in Montreal?
Yes, one of your friends who wants to leave the island of Barbados
Yeah.
would like to now visit Canada or permanently live in Canada.
I mean, I don't know about how permanent it would be,
Yes.
but she's over there, and she's like, it's a small, but also,
Island life, bro. I've heard of that term where it's like,
yeah, it's a small island, but I think also it's like she's at that age where like her family just annoys the shit out of her, and you just want to get the fuck out.
I said, there's an age there where it's like no matter what your family does, you just want to be independent. The
man,
lion has to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
You're just ready to go,
Yes.
And I guess if you're in a small island, it's like the opportunities aren't plentiful,
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know if I 100% believe that anymore.
Yeah.
Now with the internet. You know what I mean? Dude, everybody works remote. Everybody, like, unless you don't want to work that kind of...
But
right.
how? But how, though?
Well, I mean, like,
Doing what?
I mean, anything. Like, name something. That's not... Anything that demands your mind and not so much your physical. So, like...
You gotta...
anything in marketing, anything in sales, anything in administration, anything in like HR, anything that's just talking and not actual physical labor, where you have to use it's all there, literally. Skills like video editing. It could be in.
If you live in Barbados, because let's say you live in Barbados, right? Can you apply for a Canadian job working remotely?
You would be a contractor. That's how they would label you. So you wouldn't be a permanent employee of the company.
Yeah.
Depending, you could be, but depending. But most of the time, they're just called contractors. So
Yeah.
it's like, yo, we're paying you. Here's some money. You got to do your own tax stuff in whatever country you live in.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what I do when I have people working for me too, I think. But anyways, all that to say, bro, like, I'm looking for like, she's so motivated, bro.
Ah, for sure, dude. For sure, motivated.
I'm now looking for, and by the way, if anybody has, she wants to be here for June 1st.
That's amazing.
That's in 2 weeks.
Oof, you're a little tight.
Why?
I don't know.
I'm right now. Yes, it's a lot. I'm right now looking for apartments for her to sublet for like, like there's some that want from June till August. I'm like, fuck, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
if you don't like it, you hop back on a plane and you go back home. It's only a few months.
Yeah. So we're asking our
Not too much,
community. Hey guys, if you have anything for Max's friend, hook it
No,
up.
It's not really about asking the community. It's more about like, what do you think about that?
I think that it's a super powerful. This happens in jiu-jitsu. It's like you have this belief that something is going to get unlocked.
If you come here?
If
she comes here?
If whatever, dude.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, you've just put all your mind and mental energy into this. If I can just have X. Some people do that in work. Some people do that with money. Some people do that with women.
In that
men.
case, you know what, dude? I'm such a sucker, man, because every time we have a conversation like that, I'm more on the side of like, yes, you should you know, chase belts, and you're like, no, you should chase skills. Do you realize that I'm always on the I'm always on like the worldly side of these arguments, and you're always more on the spiritual side.
Yeah.
Like you're more like big picture, and I'm more like no fucking.
Yes. You know what the crazy thing is? We're all you and me. You know what I mean? It's just what's the percentage? All the stoicism, like you also are on the worldly side when you quote like famous
I think
quotes.
okay. I think when you say that you're worldly, you're short-sighted. You're narrow-sighted.
My bad.
Yeah.
Okay, I used that the other
Yeah,
way.
you think more about like the things of the world.
Okay.
That are like
Yes.
tangible.
Yes.
And that you can like focus on.
Yes, that is you.
Spiritual. I mean, in this case, yeah.
Yes.
So okay, here's the other thing with this girl. She would be working for me.
Yes.
What do you think of that?
That's a lot of responsibility, dude.
It is, bro.
I don't
right?
know, man. Like
Yeah.
this is a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Yeah, it's almost like I don't know. I mean, again, I say that because I don't have the time, but I know what you're doing, and it's a good deed for a friend because you made a friend, and I think it's amazing. I just, in my mind, I can't even fathom doing all of these things. So it's like I'm talking myself out of it even now.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a lot. It's a huge responsibility. So
I think
you are capable of it, though.
I think I might not understand, but like it's like in my head it's like this, right? She buys a plane ticket.
Yes.
All right. Then it's poured in concrete, She's coming over.
Yes.
Okay. I find her a place to live.
Yes.
Okay. Those are like the two main things. She's got to have her, like, she needs to be allowed to work here. I think I already wrote a thing for her to show to the Canadian
Government, blah, blah, blah.
government and all that. I don't know if she got all that settled for real, because it seems like, I wrote that like a
while ago.
No, like a month ago.
Yes.
And I thought it takes like way more time for that shit to get
I don't know.
to get passed off. So, anyways, so she comes here, and then she does some jobs with me, like enough for her to be able to pay her rent and buy some food.
What if she's not good at the job?
Then hopefully she has a work permit and she goes, to work in like a restaurant as like a host or a call or whatever the fuck other job,
That's I mean, again, that's the responsibility.
That is a responsibility.
It's the responsibility of like, hey, what if I'm not a good, worker? How do I pay my rent? Blah blah blah.
Yes.
Like you are now the point of contact that is, there to help her. It's listen, dude, you can do it. Like if anybody can do it, it's you.
Yeah. Why do you believe that about me?
You have the patience. You allow people their autonomy. You're not going to over baby somebody. You're just gonna kind of be like, like, hey, like, I can help, but you got to figure it out. You know how to set clear boundaries when it comes to this.
Yeah.
So, those are all the tools that you need when somebody.
And also, she's a jiu-jitsu person.
Oh wow, amazing! So
That's kinda cool,
part of
right?
our community. So, I mean, that's amazing. Like all of these things make it so that you could disassociate from the this is your responsibility for the other person. You're gonna help as much as you could, but maybe you won't make it too heavy. Whereas somebody like me, I'm silly, man. It will be like the focus of my everyday. How are they doing? What's blah blah blah. So you see, like even right now, you see your reaction tells me like, like you're not, you're just not, you're not there. Like, but there's something about those selfless. I don't know why you're doing this. If I'm being,
I don't even feel. Okay, because I feel like.
Is it like giving back?
No. Like, I like adventure.
Yes.
And
so you want to offer adventure.
Yeah. Like from what she tells me, because that's the thing. You said like we do that in jiu-jitsu too, where we put all. I think what you were gonna say is we put all our focus into one thing, thinking that it's gonna change our lives, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, look. Here's my thing. I think that this will actually change her life.
Her.
Okay, yes.
Yes.
Because she's gonna be so out of her comfort zone.
Yes.
that she's not going to have a choice but to adapt if she wants to survive, which is life-changing, you know?
I agree.
Like, you can't, it's like a do or die kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, I mean, listen, one way or another, your life is going to change.
Exactly.
When you change, when things change, as silly as that sounds. The kind of psychological phenomenon is that sometimes people are trying, I don't know, this is for sure not the case, but sometimes when you put your eggs in the basket is because you think that it's actually going to change your mental state or your... It's a funny thing. It's like, I don't know, there's an example that comes to mind. You're like, you live in, I don't know, Laval, and you're like, I'm going to move downtown, and when I move downtown, I'm going to have a new friend group, and I'm going to get rid of these friends that are kind of toxic, or well, you know, you have a situation, and you're trying to be like, I need to escape this scenario, and by moving, I'm going to escape this scenario. You don't realize that, just like in jiu-jitsu, you are the reason why that scenario keeps recreating itself, and no matter where you go, that is going to follow you, and you're going to recreate it, and you're going to end up in somebody's close guard.
So in NA we call that geographical. Okay, we say an asshole gets into a plane in Montreal, and an asshole lands in Winnipeg.
That's amazing.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
But look, here's the deal, right?
That's amazing.
Yeah. Let's say you do have shitty friends in Laval.
Yes.
Okay. And your life is chaos. You know what I mean? And the best thing for you to do would be to get away from those friends. You still need to take the fucking action from getting away from your friends, man.
Yeah, 100%. You know, but that is true, and you're right. But what I guess I'm saying is, like, unconsciously, just the same way, like, this is my silly jiu-jitsu analogy.
Dude, I do think that, I mean, this is like a chicken or the egg thing, but I do think that thoughts follow actions. Thoughts follow actions. If you start the action, it'll influence your thought. You know, like fucking waking up in the morning. I know I'm obsessed with like morning routines and all that, but if you just force yourself to wake up early in the morning and do it like consistently, eventually your thoughts are going to change, right? Let's say you stay in bed and you're fucking, you know, you're on your phone and all that, and you feel, and you're just in bed for like 2 hours after you wake up, and your thoughts are going to be bad, right? You're probably going to feel like a piece of shit, and you're not going to like yourself. But if you take the action of getting out of bed right when you wake up, I guarantee you that the thoughts aren't going to be the same thoughts that you had if you would have stayed in bed. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's like the action came first, and then the thoughts followed. So I think it's like the same thing, like with your environment. Mm-hmm. Like if you're in a house with like an alcoholic mom who calls you, you know, an asshole every day, well, you got to get out of that house. Mm-hmm. You know?
I mean, I completely agree.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah, it is. I mean, listen, we're in a chicken or the egg thing, but I do believe that the actions are stronger than the thoughts. Not stronger. Changing the action is what's going to lead ultimately to a different result, and in that process, you will have a mental shift of your thought patterns.
I think so, yeah.
And again, when people are like always getting caught, again, I use a silly analogy, but when people are always caught in somebody's close guard, and they're like, hey, I'm always ending up in somebody's close guard. Yeah. I'm always ending up in somebody. I know inherently the real truth is there are some steps that you are subconsciously taking earlier in the match, prior to being stuck in somebody's close guard, that is leading to you always ending up in that similar situation.
Yeah.
Now, the person will ask me, how do I get out of close guard?
Yeah.
Which I will obviously help them with. But the truth is, if you're always ending up there, there are some steps, some earlier steps that you are subconsciously taking that keeps putting you in the same situation.
Yeah.
So we need to go backwards and change some actions earlier so that you don't end up there.
Yeah.
A silly thing would be, hey, are you constantly, like, if you're approaching someone's open guard, are you constantly just stepping into their open guard? If you constantly just step into their open guard,
Yeah.
and now they start playing guard, and then eventually you get caught up in it, you got caught up in the spider web, and now you're in their closed guard. It's like the real action that we need to take is like, why are you stepping into their closed guard? That's the real issue here of why you're ending up in somebody's closed guard. So we need to shift that. You need to find like where this all started, and you need to shift that action.
Dude, you know what kind of dad I am, bro?
Tell me. First of all, you're not a dad.
No.
Just for the people to know.
But that's right. Yeah. I think I'm the type of dad that throws the kid in the middle of the pool.
Yeah, figure it out.
And who's like, maybe I'll throw you a Bowie if you start to drown, but try to come to the edge of the pool. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I feel like that's kind of what I'm doing with this girl, right?
Yeah, where I am not that dad.
Yeah.
I will say, hey, let's put your feet in the water so you're comfortable. Let's put your body in the water so that you're comfortable. Once you've reached like a level of comfort, then I think it's okay to start showing you that things can get a little crazier. I mean, listen, there is no, I mean, I don't know, maybe there's a wrong approach.
I don't know either. Like, yeah. Maybe I need to have some more thought out conversation with her before she does this, in terms of like what she expects and what she thinks that she can or cannot handle,
And yes, what she expects is a big one. What are you actually trying to achieve? What is it? That's a very important piece.
Yeah.
The why. The why is super important. Like, I try to get that out of everybody who comes into jiu-jitsu. Not for me. I actually want them to say it out loud.
But don't you find that they always give you like some like
Yes.
silly answer that you're like,
You're right.
But
that is
why even ask that question if they're like they don't even know?
They do know. They do know. We all know. We all know.
But when they say it, it's so dumb.
It's superficial. But the part of the process that I have to go through with them is developing a level of trust where they can verbalize their truth. They don't have to me. And I'll tell them, like, hey, you didn't just walk in here because you wanted a workout or whatever. You didn't. Because there are a million other workouts. You chose this. Why this? Why not treadmill, rock climbing, walks, hiking, swimming?
Okay.
Why this?
Okay, but then like let's say they say like another thing that's kind of shallow, like because I find these things boring.
Find what boring?
Let's
play the game.
Okay, go ahead.
Max.
Yeah.
What made you want to come? Like, what made you want to come?
I don't know. I was just walking by and I saw the sign and I thought it was interesting, so I walked in.
Yeah. No, I know, but like usually we walk by a lot of signs.
Yeah.
And it's just, was there something in particular that made you?
Well, I've been thinking that I should be like getting in shape, recently, and I don't want to go to the gym. I find it boring.
What parts of the gym are boring?
Just it's like, it's like repetitive. It's not engaging. So I thought maybe this would be something different.
And by engaging, you mean like it's because nobody is kind of like you don't have any.
Yeah, it's just like repetitive.
But you mentioned engaging. Is it because like you don't get a chance to kind of interact with anybody, or is it because you just don't like redoing the same thing, or
I'm just unmotivated when I'm lifting weights.
You're not motivated.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think is going to bring up that motivation? What drives you?
I don't know. I guess I didn't really think about that.
Well, I mean, if I told you, what drives some people, it could be maybe like some sort of self-defense aspect. Is that something that's true for you, or is it, you look like you're in shape, so I don't think you want to lose weight. What could be behind that?
I mean, I guess that's the part to where now, like, the person doesn't even know. It's like I already gave you my answer, bro.
Yeah, it's like you say that, but if I'm being really honest with you, you do know in this conversation, and I sense that
you think they know?
Yes, I'm not projecting.
You think?
Listen,
you think
nobody does anything just completely. What's the word here?
Okay, so
They're unmotivated.
do you think they're just trying to save face by not telling you their truth?
I think maybe it's in some cases it's something that might be too personal, and it's like it's okay if they don't want to mention that to me, and I'll respect that. But I'm still going to try and understand better. And if it is something like you are actually kind of giving me the answer without giving me the answer, like now if you're quote unquote dodging the question because you've never processed it, to me that's telling me that there's something deep inside of you that you still haven't processed yet, and you're looking to understand it.
Bro, you're like a freaking psychologist, man.
But this is what it is. Like my role and my goal is to help. That's why I do this gym thing. If it was anything else, I don't think I would be good at it. I want what's best for if you have the courage to walk in, I want what's best for you. So I'm going to have this conversation with you. And again, you could tell me anything. You could tell me anything. You could be like, dude, I don't know. I want to feel strong. I want to beat somebody up. I don't know. It could be whatever.
No one ever says that.
Nobody ever says. I'm giving you like a wild example.
For sure, no one.
You know?
Yeah, I know, but
you're right.
Don't give me a wild example. Give me, because what I'm saying is that mostly everyone that walks into the gym and that you ask this question are going to give you some fucking boring ass generic answer like I did.
Yeah. Well, no. But
or like I want to make friends, or like I want to get a workout in, or I'm bored at the gym. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but those are real truths. But the question is, why not dance? Why not rock climbing? Why jujitsu? And there is an answer there. It's your logic. 1 + 1 = jujitsu.
Yeah.
You found a way to get there. And you could literally just be like, I watched the UFC.
Yeah.
It could literally be that. And I'd be like, wow, cool. Like, that's cool. Like, so you want this skill.
Isn't it weird that, like, for me, like, why would you be doing jujitsu if there isn't a part of you that does want to be like some type of person who can defend himself or be like a protector type? You know what I mean?
Dude, I gotta say, like, most people are like that. But there is another version of that.
Tell me.
You mentioned that is my storyline. I want to be a protector.
Yeah.
But there are some people where it's not about protecting others; it's about protecting themselves, and it's very different.
I mean, that's a part of it.
Yes, for me, those are very different. Me wanting to be a protector.
Well, how can you protect others if you can't protect yourself, dude?
Yeah, no, I agree. But like in my deep subconscious, I'm like, yo, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I can protect myself. I can protect myself verbally. I can protect myself through just awareness to a certain extent. But
yeah.
I can protect myself. I almost feel like I walked into the door being like, I already have this. I can fight. I can protect myself. I played hockey. I got into a bunch of scraps in hockey. Like, I did not walk in there feeling like, unless I'm up against a giant, like I did not walk into this being like, it's just because I can't protect myself.
Yeah.
I can hold my own. I really was thinking, I need more to be able. It's crazy, dude. Have I told you the story of like why I started jiu-jitsu? It was this metro situation, 2 situations, where I saw a group of kids bullying
old homeless man.
A homeless person, exactly. And I was like, this happened twice, and I was like, I want to say something, but I'm not. I felt censored.
Yes.
And I was like, the reason why I feel censored is because I don't feel confident enough to be able to take all of them.
Yeah.
Or to be able to just really
stand your ground or whatever.
Yeah, like it's like the dog video that I sent you, dude. Like, you step into the room, there's a layer of confidence that a person has. Anyways, I'll tell you 2 stories. So I didn't have the confidence to speak out the first time.
Yeah.
And it killed me inside. I was like, wow, you let injustice happen because you're scared. And I hated that feeling. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, I don't want to feel that. And then, and to relay this into kind of like the dog videos that I've been sending you, like there's like these dogs, and then the alpha dog kind of walks in, and all the other dogs are kind of like, oh shit. This alpha dog, when he walks in, is because he has this level of confidence, which is like, hey, if this goes to violence, I'm down. I'm down if this goes for violence. And you can sense that in somebody. And one day I was on Crescent Street. This is the last story. And I was with a former UFC fighter. Me and him used to train together at this gym in like near the Orange Julep called APC. And there was another friend who was on a motorcycle, and he was leaning on another guy's motorcycle. And then that guy and a group of his friends came up to the kid and were like really starting to bully him, and they looked like they were going to kind of like try and beat him up. And then my buddy saw this happening and walked in. And dude, they were going to beat this kid up. Like, he didn't know how to react. He was all nervous. They were like, who do you think you are? They started yelling at him. They were like, at least 4 or 5 guys. And then my buddy saw this and laughing, walks in, grabs the dude, our buddy, and it's like, all right, man, come on, let's go, guys. It's not that serious, blah, blah, blah. And the confidence that he had walking into that little circle, all of them felt it. They were like, holy crap, this guy is way too confident in this situation. One guy started to kind of posture a little bit, and he just looked at him and he was like, it's not that serious, dude. And dude, the guy just really backed up. Bro, if they would have got into a fight with this kid, their faces would have been destroyed. I've seen this kid hit the bag. It's another level. It's the room shakes. It's really shocking just how powerful this dude is. And he knew it. And they felt it, and they, no joke, all backed off. They're like, this guy must be insane or he must be a crazy fighter. And that's what I wanted for me, mentally. Deep down inside, I'm like, I need that. I want that. Everybody has something.
I gotta tell you, bro, fucking leaning on some other guy's bike that's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. This particular person is just lost. You know what I mean when I say that?
Yeah.
Kind of not doing. He wasn't doing it.
Like they don't have the awareness.
The awareness. There's some people, and then they get in these scenarios where it's like, dude, don't sit on somebody's car.
Dude, I had a friend once. His name was David. He was so that guy, bro. He was like this big. He was a tall, skinny, goofy guy. Everyone fucking loved him. I loved him, bro. He was like my best friend, but he would tell me these scenarios that he would get in, and it's that same thing where I'm like, dude, the red flags were lined up, in a fucking corridor, and you walked right through it, bro.
There you go.
Like, he told me this story that, like, he kept on getting mugged, bro.
There you go.
Like, how are you getting mugged? I've been living in Montreal for longer than you. I have never gotten mugged once in my entire fucking life, bro.
Yes.
But he would end up in like, and then he would tell me the stories, and he's like, I tried to buy some weed from this guy, and I followed him like into an alley, and then like some other guys like fucking jumped me, and I'm like,
but you see, that's when I was telling you.
Why would you follow a guy into an alley, bro?
That's the awareness that I was telling you about, where I'm like,
I'm good. Was so fucking silly.
And you're good in a sense. You have enough awareness where you're like, you know what, I'm good. I'm never going to get into these altercations because I'm good. I see a group of drunk people at a bar, I move. My first martial arts teacher taught me that.
Yeah.
It's like, you move, dude. Don't stay there, stand your ground. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You move.
Yeah.
I have that awareness.
You can even move and get a nice view of the craziness that's about to happen.
Yeah, literally, dude. But that awareness, not everybody has it. So they end up living different scenarios.
Dude, it's insane when I meet someone who doesn't have it.
It's nonsense. It's like they have no idea that
dude,
predators are lurking.
Yeah, I had a girlfriend once, and we were walking, like hiking, This is like up north in Gaspésie, and I know there's like bears down there. You know what I mean?
Dude, I saw bears in Gaspésie.
Yeah.
I have seen bears in Gaspésie.
So like I know this, right? So I'm like, okay, bears, like there's bears, we need to be careful. And then I see
How are you gonna be careful, player?
No, but at least have some type. Like I wanted, like, hey, let's both have an awareness that there's bears here, and if we feel like there's something going on, we can at least work together. We're not. There's not like a.
You gotta run. That's how you're gonna work together,
no.
player.
But what I'm saying is that let's not have one of the parties thinking that like you can like stick around and like take a photo of a bear and try to pet it. You know what I mean? Let's both understand that like these are wild creatures.
Yes.
They even if it's a black bear, okay?
Yes.
They're wild creatures. They weigh a lot. They got big claws and they got big fangs. You know what I mean? If we see a bear, we gotta chill the fuck out, and we gotta communicate with our eyes to like, what are we doing now? You know what I mean?
Make yourself big and you gotta scream.
So, anyways, we see like a big pile of bear shit, and then then I'm like, hey, that's some bear shit, you know, we need to like just be a bit more aware of like, you know, there might be a bear around here, you know, so like stay on the trail. Let's start to like make some noise when we walk, you know, to let the bear know that we're here so we don't catch it by surprise and all that. And she started laughing, and I'm like, oof.
This is not a good
This
reaction.
is not making me comfortable right now.
You're so smart.
Because I was like, for whatever reason, you don't think that danger is real.
Yes, holy
But
moly,
danger
dude.
is real.
Yes.
It's like my friend who walks into the alley. He's
Yes.
like, and dude, that's the thing with him, is that he kept on getting mugged. And the thing that should have triggered in his head that like, hey, I gotta realize when I'm in a dangerous situation.
Holy
It
moly.
never clicked
Yes,
for him.
It never turns on. Max, you asked me a while ago, or maybe it was on the podcast, maybe it wasn't. You're like, hey, you do well in tournaments. Like,
Yes.
I don't know how you asked the question, but you sort of, the question was like, hey, you still always do well in tournaments.
Yeah.
Like, why?
Yeah.
And I told you, it's because I know how to win.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
I actually think now that that's not the right
Okay.
answer based on this conversation. I now realize it's because I'm hyper aware of when danger starts. I really think that's what I mean when I say I know how to win. Like when you saw the poop and you were like, this is serious. When I'm rolling with somebody competitively,
Yeah.
the little detail that he gives me, it's like it turns something on in my brain that says, this is a serious thing. This position, this grip, like, this is like, we have to stop this right now. We're not taking another step.
Yeah.
It's like, this stops now here. I don't want to be in
But you know,
any sort of danger.
The good thing, the amazing thing about you is that you can do defensive and offensive at the same time, you know? So like,
I see them as the same. Yes, I
okay.
really do.
Because for me, if you say like, you see danger, and as soon as there's an inkling of danger, you'll break the grip, get out of it, and reset, right? Like, see, in my mind, that's what that equals to. You reset and then you re-engage. But for you, you're saying,
I need to go +1. It never crosses my mind in a competitive thing to be like, okay, now we're good. It's like, no, you are going to be on the back foot, not me. Like, I'll fight for that. I want you on the back
so
foot.
your thing is like, the best defense is a good offense. That's what you're saying, bro.
It's like
I'm saying the best defense is a best defense. I'm saying take a step back until you're safe and then re-engage. But you're saying engage ×2.
Yeah, it's weird. It's true what you're saying, but I don't feel that way. I feel like you threatened me. I'm going to undo this, but you're going to get a bigger threat. Like, you're not going to do this again. I don't want you to do this again. So you've threatened me with something. Obviously, I have to neutralize it. So part of that strategy is defensive. But then my mindset is you're not going to get this again. And I want you to know that. Like, I literally want you to know this will not pass. You are not getting this. This will not pass.
Our styles of jiu-jitsu are so fucking different, dude.
I mean, yes and no. Yes and no.
Well, our mindset, like, dude, you know what I like to do? Maybe because I'm lazy, I guess, is I like to put myself in a situation where I'm so safe that I feel like they start to give up.
Wither, yes.
And then I'll make a move, and I'll just do the same thing. I'm just gonna lay on the person.
Yes.
Until they're like, you know.
But I do that as well. It goes back to the thing.
No, but
Sorry.
I will make myself safe, and I will let them try to attack until they realize that there's no chink in the armors here.
But that's what I'm saying. We are the same. Your threat perception says.
But yeah.
they cannot. If your threat perception was like, oh my God, he's gonna do this to me,
yes,
you wouldn't play dead the way
No, but
so you a part of you is like, yo, I can withhold you.
Yes, but I won't play dead, but I also won't start attacking right away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay, that we're similar. I also want to gauge, but if you actually threaten me, like if I actually feel like, oh, that was really close. If this happens again, Abby, this guy is gonna pass, or he's gonna submit you, or he's gonna blah. Then my mindset is like, I have to punch you back. Like I don't want you to think, I don't want you to have courage through this position. Yeah. But if I felt like when we're just playing a little bit like whatever, catfish, like, and I'm just buying my time because I'm like, wow, you really don't have anything. All right, I can do this. And then when I have a really good opportunity, I'm going to take it. I'll do that too. But it's because I've perceived you as non-threatening. You think you're threatening me, but like you're not going to pass. Mm-hmm. But if somebody really did, where the alarms really started going off, then my mindset is like, hey, we need to put this person back in his place.
Yeah.
He now just gained courage where he was like, I almost got it. I got to keep going.
By putting yourself in the offensive part, you're giving yourself courage. I think that's what I lack in my game. Like I am sometimes happy defending until I see an opportunity to get on top. But I'm happy doing that also for an entire round without ever getting on top.
But what if you were defending against me and let's say hypothetically, like just to use and you're like, oh man, he's getting there. He's going to pass. I just held him off. Mentally, but you did hold me off. Abby, as the passer, I don't realize that. But you realize it in your head where you're like, oh man, my energy is low. If he comes at me again with this, he's going to pass.
Yeah.
What do?
My energy is low?
Yeah, your energy is low and you realized in that moment, oh man, if he comes at me again with this attack, he's going to pass. What do you do in that moment? Where does your brain go? Now that you've realized, listen, he just smashed your wall and it's barely hanging on here. Are you going to wait for another attack?
I think my brain goes into, I need to re-put myself in a position where I can hold this guard even better.
No, now it's time to get out of the gates and it's time to be like, yo, now we have to take the fight, like my mentally. It's now I have to take the fight to him because it's gonna happen now. You're being silly. He's gonna get the better of you in a few seconds. You might as well die fighting than die kind of being like, oh my God, like he overwhelmed me. Like I would rather mentally be like, okay, like I guess this is gonna cost me, but I'm gonna have to stand up. I'm gonna have to blah, blah, blah. Whatever the action is, that tells me now I have a fighting chance and I might put him back on his heels a little bit and maybe that dynamic will start to change. But right now, he was like, we almost got in. Like, I'm going to keep going. Like this next one, he knows too.
But you do that knowing that it's gonna affect your opponent mentally.
Yes, it is. That's how I feel.
So, dude, your art of war.
Yes, it's a mental thing.
Is developed, bro.
Yes.
Way more than me. Like I don't know why you keep on going back to like, no, we're the same. We're not, bro.
Right.
We're not at all. I actually need to learn from what you're saying now. Don't put us on the same thing if we're not, bro. Because I need to learn from you. I'm only going to learn from you if you're above me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's super fair. But when the reason why I'm like, yo, we're not different is because like when you're trying to pass, you're so relentless in that in my mind, you are also doing that to me. In my mind, I'm assuming that you're like, because you're relentless with your, let's say your passing style,
because
you maybe have fixated in your mind, and that's what I'm telling myself is that Max realizes he's gaining momentum.
No, dude, my passing style and my guard style are the same, meaning that I'm fine just camping out, trying to pass, bro.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
But that in my mind equates to a little bit of what I'm saying. You're trying to beat me down.
Yeah, but also, if I don't pass or if I just pass, like I'm fine being in the position that I'm in. I don't like because I'm lazy. I don't care if I move on to the next one or not. You know?
Right.
For me, I'm like, I'll worry about the next position when I get to it. But I can stay in the position that I'm in and take a nap and eat a hamburger if I want.
Yes.
It doesn't matter to me, bro.
But what if, hypothetically, you're in this position and the other person starts putting it on you where you're like, I am not taking a nap. This is too crazy.
I'm always taking a nap. Dude, in my mind, I swear to God, man.
Yeah.
I'm always kind of napping.
Well, there's like, even like Danaher says this.
Dude, just
Yes.
think of the guards that I play. They're literally guards where I'm laying on my side, bro.
Yes. Yeah. But they're, again, I do that as well. I think the difference is
No, but you get up, dude. You get on your knees
yes,
with way more effort than I do.
because you
Like
don't,
I've seen you like
yes,
you know,
because I'm realizing
with
okay,
like a high underhook, you're pulling yourself
yes,
up, you know.
Yes. Well, let me ask you this.
I don't get a high underhook, bro. I just wrap myself around the leg.
It's good. I mean, again, that's a different story. Like
I would never do this. It's too much effort.
right. So you're focused. You're focused on the effort. This
Dude,
comes back
I'm
to the
big time focused on the
This
effort.
comes back to the worldly thing.
Okay.
You're short term.
Yeah.
I'm long term.
Yes.
It's again, it's coming through in our jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I know that if I stay there, it's only going to get. I'm lazy because I'm lazy. I need to get out of the position. I need to start winning.
Yeah.
Because I'm lazy. You see how because you're lazy, you want to stay there.
Yes.
I know it's going to cost me more if I
Yeah.
stay there.
Yeah.
So because I'm lazy, I'm like, I need to undo this so that I can get in a position where I can actually chill. You perceive that as chilling. I perceive me passing and then being on top of this guy and getting like that crossface lapel. Then I'm like, now we can chill. We've got into the chill place. It's like you don't want to do the hard thing in the short term, but which is even funnier because in life I feel that's the opposite. I don't
For
know what's
me?
happening. Yes.
No, bro. No, man.
Yeah, dude, you always do. You like even when we were painting the other day.
Yeah.
You're not gonna take a break midway. You're gonna, you're thinking like, hey, I'm gonna conserve my energy. I'm gonna just keep going. I'm gonna keep at this pace. It's like you get to the end. You're thinking farther ahead.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a different thing when it's a job
Well,
and you got to get to the
is
end of
it
the job to
different?
get paid. But I'm still just like, yeah, it's just a constant pace. I'm not trying to.
Yeah.
You know?
But you're moving forward constantly. You're not being lazy and sitting back and not doing. You keep advancing.
But wait, hold on. If you keep on telling me this, I'm not going to change my game, bro.
Yeah.
I'm trying to improve my game to be more like you.
Yes,
And
but-
if you keep on telling me that no, you're doing it, I'm going to keep on doing what I'm doing, and my jiu-jitsu isn't going to fucking goddamn improve, dude. What I'm telling you is that I love to lay on my side and grab a lapel and just fucking have my head tucked in and try to grab the leg if I can.
You do
because
try to
I'm able
pass.
to chill there.
Yes, but you eventually
But
try to pass.
The same thing with my passing style, bro. I'll fight for the over under from both sides because
You want to pass.
I don't. Yes, but also it's because I don't have to think. That's the thing. Even with my job, bro. What I like a lot about my job is that there's no thinking involved. It's just a process.
Some people don't have a process.
It's the same thing with the over under, bro.
Yes.
I don't have to think. The only thing I need is I need to be under and I need to be over and I need to get my head there
Yes.
and I'm just gonna keep on fighting for it. There's no
Yes.
thinking involved, bro.
Yes, but I think it's because like if I
I'm
contrast
I'm not even thinking about what I'm gonna do on my next step.
No, you are thinking about getting to the over-under and passing.
Yeah.
Max, I know I'm arguing you,
Yeah.
but there are people that are truly passive. Like truly, like you're not on that end of the spectrum. I get it.
Yeah.
Like maybe I'm a little bit more, at least mentally, on one side of the spectrum. But there are people who literally are only defending, and they will never, ever go into any offense. Bro, when I say any, I mean any. Like, it's literally just protect yourself and defend. Don't let this guy submit me. Don't let this guy submit me. They will do nothing. They just want to turtle. It's not you.
And they get blue belts, these guys?
Yes, dude. They get far.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they get really far based on that strategy. And you're like, damn, what is up with this? Like, what's the goal here? And it's, preservation. You don't fall into that, for me at least. Like, you'd still do advance. And again, I catfish too and be that lazy person, and I buy my time and to buy my chance to get into a good position. But you are still inching your way towards a position.
I do want to get more subs.
But you need more tools.
I was on Mount on this brand new white belt, dude, and I wasn't able to submit. It was so embarrassing, bro.
It's not. Mount is so difficult.
I know, but
dude, Mortaza the other day was also telling me I need more attacks from mounts. I can't finish from mount. Black belt.
You know what? Like Sam does, I need to have a Rolodex of attacks.
Yes.
That I go through in my head, like, okay, dude, because I was trying to do armbar or X choke.
Yeah.
But it's also like, yeah, okay, but there's also an Americana, there's also an Ezekiel choke, there's also, if he turns, I can go for the back, I can get like a gift wrap maybe to try to make that happen.
Yeah, 100. We'll start
but
with...
I was so hyper-focused on just X choke or the armbar, and it's like, fuck, bro.
Those are hard things. Without making this about that.
And I just ended up fucking smashing him for 3 minutes.
Yes.
Dude, the thing
that's part of it, dude.
I end up feeling sorry for the people who are just under me for 3 minutes because me. I can't finish.
So let them give up. Let them escape. That's not on me.
But he's a brand new white belt, bro. It's not his fault.
That's his role. Listen, I don't want to do this, but I will say to you that the first attack that you should do from mount that started changing my perspective, and everybody should probably take this. Everybody's like, oh, I need to be able to do an armbar from mount, blah, blah. Yo, your first thing that you want to do
Mother's
from mount,
milk.
Yeah, imagine the best, is you need to, without finishing it even, you need to start thinking arm triangle. If you can start thinking arm triangle, bro, that setup, once you start with that.
It's hard to get out of mount sometimes when you lock it in. Do you get out of mount to do it?
No. Yes, I do. But if you're placed right, but it will open up all the other attacks.
Oh.
I'm just saying, don't even try to do it. Try to get 90% of the way there, but actually don't even finish it.
Okay.
Then start going for your
it does make sense that
dude, it's crippling.
Yeah.
If you can really get into the arm triangle where the guy's arm is across his face, you have that underhook, and you're high up there to the point where if you dismount, you can maybe finish. There are a lot of other things that everything that you just mentioned, the getting the back, the getting the gift wrap, the S mount into the arm bar, like all of those things start to become crazy available. That should be the first horn in most people's attacks.
Okay, I'm going to do that.
Yeah. All right, so let's see here, Max. We've covered a lot.
Yes, we've covered a lot. I need to, if I'm going to train at noon, we need to go to the bank because I got to digest oh my God, we got a little drawing in here.
There's a drawing? Start with the drawing question. Whoever drew something. Or it's probably, maybe it's another huge ass comment.
Okay. Okay, are 2 years enough to do competition, gi or no gi?
Holy moly. Whoever asked this question.
Look at the little drawing.
Oh, wow, that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
There's a muscle man who drew here. Let me see this handwriting. I love
It seems like there's an accent to it, too.
My God, who is this person? Do you see how he spelled the word enough? Look at that. The O and the U are somehow merged together in this crazy way.
I think that might be like a spelling mistake that they went over.
The gap between the G
like,
and the H.
Like I think they tried to do E-N-O and then the G right away. And then
whoever
like,
this incredible person
is,
but dude, look at the space between the G and the H.
Yeah.
It's massive.
Yeah.
Look how bunched up the other stuff is.
Yeah.
This is very telling.
So, look, 2 years is more than enough.
Dude, competition looks like he has and then the I is on his own there.
Yeah.
Look at his R's.
Dude, I don't know.
It looks like a 6.
Yeah, or like a S or something.
It's not even an R. I love this person.
Where's the R?
Guy or.
Oh yeah, it's a 6. Isn't it?
I love this person
Dude,
so much.
I don't know why. I think this. You think
I'm
this
sorry
is an
if I'm
Asian person?
making.
I don't
It
know
could
why
be
it's-
anybody, but like the muscle man that he drew also has hair. But his oar is literally a 0 with a line across and a 6.
Is there hair on the armpits? Okay, hold on.
I just need to be able.
I don't know if the camera will zoom in on this.
I need to be able to find out who this is. So, Max, you want to field this one, please?
Yeah, 2 years is more than enough. Look, so 2 years is normally the time that you should you should get your blue belt in 2 years, right? It takes on average 2 years per belt. From white to blue, it's like, let's say between like 1 year and 2 years, depending on who you are. So if you're going to be competing as a white belt, you should be competing within the first 2 years. It's different for everyone. There are some people that come in, they already have a martial arts background, they're athletic, they can compete within the first 3-4 months, you know, as soon as they learn a little bit of jiu-jitsu and that they're familiar and comfortable in some of their positions, you can compete, especially as a white belt.
Agreed.
The thing that you need to realize is that when you compete, you're competing against people who are your age, your weight, and your skill level. So the pool of people that you're going to be competing with is pretty even Steven Seagal, bro. You're not going to be going up against people who you shouldn't be going up against anyone who's like so much more skilled than you. I think on average, like if you've been training jiu-jitsu, let's say you have no experience at all and you're not an athletic person and you just started doing jiu-jitsu, I think a good middle ground is probably like 6 to 8 months.
Fair.
You know, you could do your first competition within that time. That's what I think.
You know, every time we get these type of questions, and it's like people talk about time. People always use time in these things. Like we all.
It's worldly.
Yeah, is it?
Yes.
Worldly, again, implying that it's.
It's of the world. It's
yes.
non-spiritual. It's nearsighted.
I understand. Right.
They
yes.
want a timeline. They want a tangible goal.
Yes.
They want to reach something. They want
Yes.
the pot of gold.
Yes.
You know.
Understood. It's just that it's just not fair. It's almost now silly to me. We're like, hey, is 2 years enough? Okay, 2 years at how many times a week are you training? And what do you do on your off time? Bro, what I do on my off time when it comes to jiu-jitsu, it's insanity.
You watch jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I watch, like Mortaza, insanity.
Yep.
So this 2 years thing, what does that mean? Are you training 2 times a week? Are you like some of the crew at our gym, like Chewy, Febri, and Zach, like that are training 5-6 times a week? Which one are you? Because that is a huge piece of this puzzle. And again, are you watching jiu-jitsu when you go home? Is it something that's like kind of constantly, not constantly, but constantly on your mind? Are you that person? Because the difference, like that person at 6 months could be the other person at 2 years. So it's so difficult. It's like from now on, if somebody tells me, I'd be like, hey, what's your training cadence? And honestly, like, do you watch jiu-jitsu at home? Like, do you kind of self-reflect? And then if they tell me, oh, I just kind of train once a week or twice a week, and honestly, no, I never watch any YouTube. I never watch anything. I'll be like, yeah, we got to go deeper into the spectrum here. Like, you're going to be the 1.5-year guy, 2-year guy. And it's what's sad about that storyline now is that I don't think people realize how other people are. So they always assume, oh man, I've been training for a year.
That they're working as hard as the other guy.
Yeah, we're in the same boat, me and this guy. We started the same time.
Yeah.
But they don't realize every day that they're not in the gym, that person is actually in the gym. Mm-hmm. So it's hard to answer this question, even though this person made it almost exaggerated, where he's like, hey, at 2 years, 2 years you should be getting your blue belt. So for sure you're ready to compete. But again, if this person is training once a week,
but you know,
has huge gaps.
The other thing is that you should get a feeling for if you're ready for your first competition while you're training on the mats. Like, how well do you do in the training room? Are you only getting smashed? Like, do you understand the basics? You know, are you able to do them in a roll? When you roll, do you know what you're doing? You know?
Yes.
Like, if the answer to all of that is yes, then it probably means that you're ready for your first competition. And you know, like I said, you might be training for 6 months, and you might feel like the answer to that is no.
Yes, agreed.
Or it might be yes, or the answer to that might be yes.
And honestly, so that's a great gauge. So we have hints, right?
Yeah.
Like some of the hints are like, how do you feel in your roles? How are you feeling during your jiu-jitsu? Do you feel like, honestly, you can be honest, are you completely lost? Do you feel like there are some exchanges that you win, some that you lose? Like, is it kind of like, is it in there? Again, all things equal. That's a great gauge. So your kind of sentiment towards like, hey, how do I feel in my roles against an even Steven scenario? Another one, honestly, and this is going to sound crazy, do you understand the rules? I'm not kidding. If you understand the rules and the point system, I feel like to a certain extent you've crossed a bridge where it's like, as silly as this is, if you understand mount, knee on belly, and positionally you actually understand, oh, I understand when I'm on somebody's back, I need both hooks. As simple as that is to us, like for a beginner, if he actually knows these things, he kind of has a shining light mentally where he's like, if he's competing, he knows when he's giving something up and he knows when he's winning. I think that's, if you actually absorb that, and as crazy as it sounds, like if you ask a beginner, sometimes they have no clue.
I feel like we should go through that more in beginner classes.
When there's a tournament, usually like 2 weeks before, we start addressing it and we start saying, hey, let's go over the point system. Because just with that, you could maybe win a match.
Yeah.
Figure it out. This is your approach. We've thrown you into the water. We're telling you, hey, these are the large lines here. Like, try and figure it out. Like, if the guy puts his 2 feet between your legs when he's on your back, you're effed. So keep his legs out of there.
And then, you know, the other weird thing is that, like, man, some people compete who are not ready at all, and they're so confident and kind of delusional.
I love that.
It's like, at the same time, it's like, you got a lesson to learn by competing that you'll only learn when you're competing. Like that question might only be answered after you compete.
That's so brilliant, Max.
You know, it's and then true. You can re-gauge and be like, fuck, maybe twice a week isn't enough.
Yes.
You know?
Brilliant, dude. And you're so right. Am I ready to compete? You know what? I'm going to start saying that now. Hey, Abby, do you think I'm ready to compete? There's only honestly one way to find out.
Yeah.
As crazy as this sounds, like you do have to go through it to know, you know, were you or weren't you?
Yeah.
And if you're
asking that question, I kind of feel like maybe you are.
Yes. So we're leaning towards that. Yeah. But also, when you're done, you're going to realize, hey, were you honestly ready?
You know what we say again in the rooms of NA? Nobody walks into these rooms by accident.
That's how I feel about trying to understand somebody's why, which was what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
I have that deep core belief, which is, like I was saying earlier, you could have done this, you could have done that. I believe that, dude. Nobody walks into the jiu-jitsu gym completely sillily with nothing in their mind. They just walked into it and they're like, I want to do this. I don't believe that. Now, whether you want to say it to me out loud or not, I respect that. But I'm going to ask you a few questions to try and see, because if you put that out there, the chances of you seeing this through are stronger, because now you know why you're doing this.
Yeah.
And if I can help you on that journey to kind of just sort that out by asking you a few questions, that would be awesome for you. If you don't, hey man or lady.
It is kind of complicated, bro. You know? It's like, you know, like the one thing about the rooms of NA is that, like, it's not complicated. It's obvious why you're here, you know?
Oh, I understand.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like this is like, it can like everyone has their own weird little reasons.
It could be anything, dude. You know? All right, last one. Let's do it.
Last question.
This guy goes into the drawer.
Yeah.
The drawer being under my thigh.
What is the most superior grip? Underhook, pant sleeve, collar, overhook, etc.
I mean, you want me to go for this?
I'm gonna answer it with the worldly question, and
Yes.
then you get into the weeds, okay?
Yes.
First of all, it depends on what position.
Right? It's contextual. That is it. Is there any other way to go here?
I'm gonna go with underhook.
Wow, you're actually oh, that's why you say worldly. You have to make a choice.
Yeah, because it's like if you have an underhook from stand up, I feel like you get more control and it opens more doors. If you have it from top, it opens it's the same, and if you have it from bottom, I feel like it's the same. I feel like the underhook. This is my worldly answer, bro. Because look, if you only have one sleeve grip, it's not, you don't have as many, you're not as versatile as if you have an underhook. The same thing with like a pant leg, you know what I mean? If you only have one pant leg, you're still kind of fucked, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean 100%, but it's so contextual, dude.
Guys, you
gotta work on your grammar.
You can only get these type of straightforward, dumb answers from me, goddammit.
No, I don't think it's dumb. I think I'm trying to think in my mind when that wouldn't be the right thing, but
like if you think of all the positions,
yes.
okay, and then you think of these grips, which one of these grips gives you an advantage in most positions?
In most, but I don't think
it's
that's the question.
It's not going to be a fucking pant sleeve grip.
Yeah, I know, but I don't think that's the question. In most positions.
What is the most superior grip?
Yeah, the most superior.
Well, I mean, the most superior grip is going to be the grip that gives you the most advantage.
In the scenario that you're in.
No,
You're in my close guard.
In all the positions.
You're in my close guard.
Hold on. In all the positions as a whole.
Yeah,
that,
but I mean,
that would be the most superior grip.
You're assuming that's the question. He's like saying, yo, what is the ultimate burger in the fast food world?
The ultimate?
Yeah, top burger in the fast food world.
I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing.
He wants one.
Yeah.
He's literally saying, what is the most superior grip?
Yeah.
And then he gives a bunch of questions. He just wants to know the one.
I still think it's the underhook.
Okay, well, you're in my close guard.
Yeah.
What do you want?
I mean, I would rather have an overhook, but an underhook is also very good.
Yeah, I mean, you want to control, you want to win a grip fight. Like, you don't want an underhook in that scenario.
I can go for an underhook.
Yeah, you could figure something out. Yes, now that I'm thinking about it, but I mean, it's not the most superior grip in that scenario. The answer is there is no answer to this question. Everything is contextual, depending on the scenario, depending on what. It's so dynamic.
But for a white belt, bro.
You can't say that. You're giving him the wrong thought process.
Really?
Yes. We're basically, like, it would be the equivalent of, I don't know, every time you're, I'm sure, like, we can translate that into your construction world. It's like somebody's asking you, like, what's the ultimate tool to bring? And then you're like, well, it depends on the job. Like, and then you're like, no, but is it screwdriver? I mean, no, it's not. Like, if you're doing a painting job, no, it's not screwdriver. Like, you rarely will use a screwdriver. It's probably a scraper, or I don't even know. Like, it's an impossible thing. And jiu-jitsu is so insanely dynamic that if we answer this, if we answer this in a silly way, we're doing this person a disservice. They need to understand that they need to be assessing the scenario and the threats and what they need and what their partner needs. I don't want to give him this, but I want to get this. So it depends. If you're playing De La Riva and you feel like the guy is trying to run away, man, that pant grip is going to lead to a sweep. Like, it's a powerful thing to have that pant grip in that scenario. Like, it's contextual. It's person who asked this question, you should not be looking at things in this light. You should be looking at things based on the situation that you're in. There's a hierarchy based on what you need and based on what your partner wants from you. And you need to be able to undo what he wants while getting what you want.
Yes.
And if you look at things in this light, you're always going to sometimes chase the suboptimal thing. And guys, come on, we need to work on our grammar here.
I feel,
actually, the grammar and the syntax here is perfect.
I feel like if I was a general in World War I, bro, I would have murdered so many of my men, dude.
60,000?
I would have been the guy that's just be like, the enemy's over there, we're over here,
Yes.
we run at them, and we fucking take them out, bro.
That's what I did at the Ontario Open.
Yeah.
You were telling me this on the last pod, where I was like going into the guy's machine gun.
Yeah.
And then, you see, in that day, dude, I have to say, and it's probably what burns me the most, is that I lost the art of war there. I completely lost it, and I think that's what really, now that we've had this conversation,
bothers you the most?
Yes, I think it bothers me the most that I was silly, and that I decided to throw and I think, now that I'm processing it even more, I think it's because there were my friends watching me, and that changed more of my friends. You know, like sometimes when we compete, it's just me, you, and JP. But in this case, the team was there, and I was like, dude, I'm going to throw everything at this guy.
That plays a fucking big thing for you, bro.
Yeah, yeah, for sure it does. Like this perception, and there's, I think it's that, at least. I'll let you.
And it doesn't help you.
It does not.
You know it doesn't help you.
No, it was a big mistake. I wanted to win in, I don't know what the word is, but like beautiful fashion, yes, in a sense. Yes. You know, like I wanted to, and it cost me.
You told me once about, I was like, you won all your matches by submission. What's up with that? And you were like, because I wouldn't want to go back to the gym and say that I won by points.
Yes.
Because you were like, you wouldn't think that it would be good enough or something.
Yes, I still feel that way. But, sorry, okay, so you're saying, how does that contrast to what I'm saying now?
No. Oh. What I'm, like, all I'm saying is that, like...
That I'm thinking in that, sorry, I'm going to keep jumping in.
No, it's okay. Like, all I'm saying is that, like, that seems to be important to you, is the way that other people will see your victory or not.
So, yes, it is important that if I'm going to tell people, or if I'm going to tell our team, hey, the goal is submission, be submission-oriented, I have to also live by that mentality in a match. Now, that is one thing, and the
I feel like that's very worldly, bro.
It could be, but my way of getting there,
yes,
is art of war, versus on that day at Ontario Open, the way that I was trying to get there through ego.
Yes,
I should have slowed things down and been more art of war and tactical the way that I usually am, and strategic, but I didn't. I decided I wanted it so bad, like it was like, I'm getting there. I'm running there. And it doesn't matter if I sprinted and I'm burning my gas tank. I'm trying to get there as quickly as possible because I want everybody to see what I'm capable of. Whereas usually I'm more tactical. It's like, hey, wait, bide your time. No, you're not going to win this
Let me ask you something. If I would have been on the sidelines and I would have told you to slow down.
I think I would have been more grounded. Like, I think I lost kind of my... Like, I remember now, like, looking back, being like, all right, time to put it on this guy. Like, which is a silly mentality.
No, because you were in the position to do that when you had that thought. It was during the reset you had that thought.
No, sorry. Right before my match started. Right before my match started, in my mind, I was like, all right, let's put this guy kind of, instead of being like, let's see what this guy throws at you. Okay, yeah, you're powerful, you're strong, but that's not gonna win you this match, buddy. Like, no, you're not gonna win this. No. Okay, you're starting to fail. Where's my hole? Okay, this is how I'm gonna get it. Okay, now we have to break this guy's spirit. We're in the position. Now is when we're gonna give 100%. He's not getting out of this position, and I want him to know that. Usually, that's my process. It's like, I'm gauging you. I'm shutting you down where I can. We're scrambling where I can. But my mental is, at one point, you're going to get 100% of me, and that's when you're going to, like, I want you to give up. But in this case, I went in being like, I'm going to just try and bulldoze this guy. Because I wanted to put on a show, and that's ego. And I ended up suffering the cost of that, because it was a flawed
Do you think you learned that lesson now?
Well, now that I'm saying it, I feel like I am. Like I need to be more grounded, and I need to just say to myself, okay, I'm going to impose myself, and in that, we're going to have this back and forth, where we're going to be having this conversation, but the conversation sounds like this. No, that's not going to work. No. Yeah, I'm a little bit better than you in this position. No, that's not going to work. Oh, yeah, you want to fight? Okay, that was good. Congrats. Like 50-50 on that one. That was an even-Steven exchange. But on the next one, you're not. I'm going to keep coming at you. No. Okay, yeah. Oh, I know now you felt what I just felt. Things are getting darker for you, my friend. Like, and then if I feel that, now it's like, okay, a little bit more, a little bit more. Now I'm in a dominant position. If I can get into this dominant position, now I'm I'm trying to destroy your will. I want you to want me to submit you. That is, as insane as that sounds, that is that is usually and if they start to win battles, I'm going to start saying to myself, okay, this is not working. This guy's better than you at this. This is not working. Can we get through this? If we can get through this, we need to get into another position. We need to take him, I always think this, into deeper waters.
What if the pace is so quick?
Yeah.
And you're on the back foot?
Then the lesson is, Abby, which is a lesson that I took. Your conditioning.
How do you slow it down?
Half guard. Like it's going to be like, hey.
Do you still think that the answer to this solution is you working on conditioning so you can have the gas tank to go through it? Or is the solution to be able to slow things down when they get out of hand so you can catch your breath? Or probably both, right? Why not do both?
Yeah. There is something about, yes, to those things, but there is something about somebody throwing everything at you and you being like, yo, that didn't work. Like Keenan Cornelius was in a match against Nicholas Mergali earlier when Mergali was still an absolute monster, bigger than Keenan. And he knew mentally, and he says it in one of his YouTube videos where he's like, I knew I had to get through the first 3-minute blitz. So mentally he was prepared to be like, for the first 3 minutes, I'm going to withstand your blitz. You're going to throw everything at me, and I'm going to defend, and you are not going to get through. And he knew after that Mergali would be a little less. And then he knew that's when he needed to be able to now put the fight to him. Yeah. That's where there was this thing the other day that I saw on YouTube where these two guys are literally sledgehammer on both sides, and there's this giant screw through a metal thing. And one guy bangs it on this side, and then the other guy bangs it on this side, and it's who could punch it all the way through. Initially, the person on the left was just smashing it as hard as he could. The other guy just kept pace, and he was losing. The nail was clearly almost in because this guy just went too hard, but this guy just kept his pace. I'm sure mentally he was saying, he's going to gas. Keep your pace. That's so tactical, where he was like, I'm just not going to go away, and you're going to just get gassed.
Yeah.
And it's a tactical approach. And then eventually the guy literally at one point took a break. He had to put his arms down. And then he dink, dink, dink at the same pace. And then at the end, he started putting it on. Dude, I've actually done this in a chicken wing eating competition. I'm so sick. I literally do it. I'll tell this I don't know. I'm telling too many stories maybe today. You want to hear the chicken wing? Have I told you this?
I think so. But I mean, who the fuck would start a chicken wing competition going quickly? That's such a dumbass move, dude.
Me.
Oh, you started quick?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
I know it's the sound of something different here, but it's the art of war. I wanted to build a gap with this guy.
Oh.
See, it depends. You have to be strategic in the moment. And with this guy, I had built up a 10-wing advance that he had to start being like, oh my God, I'm never going to catch this up. This wasn't a situation where we're trying to fight for neutral against each other. It's me against me. It's how much can I eat? And I just knew that if the gap became large enough, he's just going to be completely distraught. I can see how this is almost an opposite example to what I'm saying.
It is an opposite example.
Yes, but it's the mentality.
But it goes back to what you're saying about not only having one game plan to follow. It's about what works best for the situation you're in.
Yeah.
Which is what I'm not good at. I'll do the same thing every single time.
Sorry, I love how you say that. It's the best.
It's true,
Yes.
bro.
Yeah, but 8 out of 10 times, if you're
It works.
Yeah,
That's why I
absolutely.
keep on doing it. And if I lose, I'm like, well, I mean, it didn't work, but you know who does that too? And by the way, these guys are losers. Let's just say it. They're awesome. I love them, but they're losers. The Diaz brothers.
yes, they just keep doing the same thing.
They keep on doing the same thing every time, and their mentality, they even say it out loud as like a mantra that they say. They'll say, "You can beat anybody on your best day when they're having a bad day."
I love that.
That's what they go into their fights thinking, bro.
And they have a lot of losses.
They have a lot of losses. Yeah.
And I know we're running on time, so maybe we can. There is something like in the performance world that is called like, and we've spoken about this a little bit, and some people just make the metaphor and say like, hey, you need to be flexible.
Yeah.
Like, and the big learning there is what gets you here is not going to be what gets you here.
Yeah.
And if you're not capable of taking that lesson, you're never going to kind of grow. So your strategy might beat this level of opponent. So let's say like your strategy is always, but as soon as you come up against someone who is of a higher level, your strategy might start to work, but honestly, it very most likely will start to fail.
Yeah.
And now the ask of you is, do you have the flexibility to change your approach?
Dude, I wonder if I'm like this because my diet is filled with carbs, bro.
That's the best.
I wonder if that's why I'm sleepy all the freaking time.
I don't know
Like
how
if
we
I
got there.
change my
This is
fuel.
like a question
no,
for
because
Callie.
dude, like
You need to ask Callie.
I'm
She knows.
I'm feeling heavy, and I know.
Ketones, Callie.
Yeah, and I know that I want to train at noon. I already know that, like, I already know what my game plan is going to be at noon because I'm feeling heavy. I'm feeling sluggish.
That's incredible.
If I felt different, I wonder if dude, that's what I was saying, man, dude. The actions,
Yes,
the thoughts
I was
follow
going
the
there too.
actions. Like,
So-
if I felt different,
would you
physically,
be different? Yes.
physically, would
Yes.
my thoughts be different?
Yes. So now imagine, like, if you were always ending up in somebody's clothes guard, and I told you,
Dude.
dude, stop eating carbs.
This is such.
That's how far back we have to go.
Yes.
In order to undo
Yes,
some of
yes.
the things that are happening in the
But
match.
like, dude, this is such like a drug addict thing, man. Because I'll tell you what, I like feeling this way because it's comfortable, bro.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Everybody though.
Like being sleepy
Yes.
and lazy.
Yes.
It's comfortable, bro.
I get it.
You know, and like walking at a slow pace, it's
Yes.
comfortable.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
it's like I gotta worry about nothing. I don't
feel
even
you.
have to think about this.
Yes.
I just fucking get through the day.
Yes.
Enjoy, sightsee.
Yes. Smell the flowers.
But like,
if you maintain
The-
this approach,
Yes.
you will always have the same result.
yes. But
You're
the
go-
result is not that bad, bro.
Yeah, again, that's a Diaz thing.
And yes, exactly. But if I wanted to go to the next level, then I would have to
Flexibility.
stop eating the yummy food,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And I would have to like start to have to think and stuff.
Yes. There's a whole thing there
Yeah.
that you would have to kind of adopt and change. So, yeah, that flexibility to be able to say, okay, I'm going to have to change, quote unquote, everything in order to be able to beat this next tier of opponent. Dude, I'm living that right now. Like to wrap this up, I'm living that right now. Like we want to do Worlds in August.
Yeah.
And so I've had to change huge things, dude.
By the way, what the fuck's going on with Spencer and his workouts, man? Are we lifting heavier or not? Are we doing the same shit? It's been months. It's been a month or two.
And now it's like almost, I think, at the time where the workout is going to start changing.
Okay.
But just the fact that I'm doing these workouts, that is a big change in my approach.
Yes, but now the workouts need to change because we are comfortable, dude.
Yes, Spencer, we're comfortable.
Yeah.
And it's true. I am comfortable in those workouts. They're easy.
They're easy.
Yeah.
They're fun.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
dude, I'm sorry, man. I heard someone in the gym say that they started running, and ever since they started running, their gas tank has been.
Is it Callie?
No, it wasn't Callie.
She's a big runner.
It was a guy. I know.
Yeah. I wish I could run, but dude, my knees, I don't know. Maybe I gotta swim or something.
Elliptical.
Yeah, elliptical, right. Yes.
That's good for your
Well,
knees.
listen, Spencer's credit he's been like gentle nudging me because he knows like I'm super busy with a million things. He keeps telling me like, Abby, have you been doing your cardio days? Have you been doing your cardio days? And I'm like, yeah, I'm getting around to it. So I'm definitely failing on the cardio side. I have been doing my workouts, but I need to be starting to do my cardio stuff. So,
dude, you need to wake up in the morning and do your cardio.
I know.
Like, what is it? 35 minutes?
I have no idea. That's how crazy it is that I I've been avoiding this step so bad that I don't even know the answer to that question. I literally.
But you know, time.
Oh my God! Now Spencer knows everything.
Yeah.
Don't watch this, Spencer.
Time in the morning is actually useful. Like you can wake up in the morning and do stuff. At night you're fucked.
Yeah.
But in the morning, dude, you give yourself a half hour in the morning to get on an elliptical and be out of breath for 20 minutes.
It's big.
It's so possible, bro.
Yeah, it is. It is. And
the endorphins, man, you're gonna love it, dude.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna hit it. But the large point here is the fact that in order for me to beat that level of opponent, which is the higher level of opponent, I know that my MO is not going to work for that level of opponent.
Yeah, you need to adjust a little bit.
You need to adjust. And if you're not willing to
add something,
we need to be flexible, dude. We need to be flexible in terms of our approach.
Yeah.
If I'm just like, my approach is the winning approach, no, it's not. It's the winning approach for this level guy, but I promise you it's not the winning approach for this level guy. If you want to beat that level guy, the ask of you is different. You're going to need to do different things. And either you go that road and you acknowledge, okay, I do need more stamina. I do need more conditioning. I do need X, Y, Z. Or you're like, my game works. Your game works for that guy.
It is the missing piece right now, dude.
It is. It's a big
because
piece.
You are stronger.
Not against the dude that I fought at Ontario Open. Oh, sorry.
No.
You mean I have been gaining strength.
For you. Yeah. For you. You are stronger.
Sorry. Have I? You're saying.
You got stronger.
Oh, yes to that. Yes.
Right?
I thought you meant like, am I stronger than my opponent?
Since the beginning of the journey, you've gotten stronger.
100%.
So the thing to add is the cardio.
Yeah, the conditioning piece. We're going to do it. We're going to do it, Fern. So let's go get out there and start walking.
Yeah.
Another one in the books.
Let's go.
That's not the song at all, is it?
No, that's like a 1950s
Maybe we should have
freaking...
a different walkout song.